Having understood the construction of differential pair and its operation in common mode and differential mode input voltages, let us discuss the small signal operation of differential pair. In this session, you will learn the operation of differential amplifier as a linear amplifier. Before stepping into the small signal operation, let us consider how to represent an input voltage as a differential and common mode signal. Consider two input signals V1 and V2. So the differential input signal is the difference between the input voltages V1 and V2. Yes. The common mode input signal is the average of the two input signals. So it is V1 plus V2 divided by 2. Now how to represent these two input signals into differential and common mode signals? So now try to find the value of V1 and V2 from these two expressions. So when you solve for these two expressions, you will get the value of V1 and V2. So the input signals V1 and V2 are expressed in terms of differential and common mode components as V1 equal to VCM plus VID by 2 and V2 equal to VCM minus VID by 2. So in small signal analysis, we'll be using these two voltages as input voltage to the circuits. So these two expressions are represented here graphically, circuit wise. So if you have two signals of V1 and V2, how to represent it in terms of differential as well as common mode components? Yes. Consider the input voltages to MOS differential amplifier as VG1 equal to VCM plus VID by 2 and VG2 equal to VCM minus VID by 2. So these are the two input signals applied to the gate terminals of two MOSFETs respectively. Okay. Here VCM indicates the common mode DC voltage and VID indicates the differential input voltage. This is kept very small, VID is kept very small, and VG1 is increased by VID by 2 and VG2 is decreased by VID by 2. Okay. The output can be taken as single-ended, that is between drain 1 and ground or drain 2 and ground, or it can be taken differentially across the two terminals. Okay. Now, the main objective is to analyze the small signal operation of the circuit and to determine the differential gain and common mode gain of the circuit. First, let us find the differential voltage gain. Recall the small signal model which we have performed during MOSFET operation. So in order to draw an equivalent signal, the power supplies are grounded, the current source is open circuited, and VCM is eliminated here. VCM is a DC common mode voltage, so that is why it is made 0. So the resulting equivalent circuit will be this, that's shown on the left hand side. Now the gate to source voltage at Q1 is VGS1 equal to VID by 2 because VCM is 0, so VGS1 will be equal to VID by 2, and here also VCM is equal to 0, so VGS2 equal to minus VID by 2. Now from symmetry, the signal voltage at the source will be 0, that is acting as a virtual ground here. So this point is a virtual ground. The reason is it is not physically grounded, but the potential at this point is 0, so it is called virtual ground. Now the voltage at the drain is nothing but the drop across this two drain resistors. So this is I into RD, and this is also here at this VO2 is also equal to I into RD. So we can write the voltages at drain as V01 equal to, or V01 equal to minus ID1 into RD and V02 equal to minus ID2 into RD. The expression is exactly same as how we derive the drain voltage in a common source amplifier. Now we know that the drain current is equal to GM into VGS, that is transconductance times the input voltage. So now ID1, the drain current 1 will be equal to GM into VGS1, and ID2 is equal to GM into VGS2. So what is VGS1? VGS1 is equal to VID by 2 and VGS2 is minus VID by 2. On substituting these two values over here, we get ID1 equal to GM into VID by 2 and ID2 equal to minus GM into VID by 2. Sorry. Now, if you substitute these current expressions on the drain voltages, we'll end up with V01 equal to minus GM into VID by 2 into RD and V02 equal to GM into VID by 2 into RD. So these are the output voltages which is taken single-ended. Now, when you take the voltage differentially, then V0 D equal to V02 minus V01. So in that case, it will be the sum of these two voltages. So that is equal to GM into RD into VID. Now what is we know that RD is the drain resistance and VID is applied differential input voltage. And what is this GM? The GM is a transconductance. So if you recall the expression for transconductance of a MOSFET, GM is equal to 2 into ID divided by V over drive voltage. Now in a differential amplifier, the drain current is equal to I by 2. So it is exactly divided among the two drain terminals. So it is I by 2. So when you substitute drain current to be equal to I by 2, then we'll end up with the GM equation as I divided by V over drive. So this is the transconductance of a differential amplifier. Okay. Now let us try to. We have found the differential. We have found the output voltage. Now let us try to find the gain, differential gain. So differential gain taken single-handedly is given by V01 divided by VID, that is equal to minus GM into RD divided by 2, and V02 divided by VID equal to GM into RD divided by 2. So on differential gain is given by GM into RD. This is exactly the same as the gain which we derived for a common source amplifier. So GM into RD. So here we have neglected the output resistance of a MOSFET, internal output resistance of a MOSFET. If we consider that also, that is small r0, then you can write the differential gain as GM into RD in parallel with R0. Hope you remember the expression. Okay. let us discuss about an important specification of a differential amplifier called common mode rejection ratio, or CMRR. CMRR is a measure of effectiveness of the differential amplifier in amplifying the differential mode signals and rejecting the common mode signal. It is a parameter that will tell you how effective the differential amplifier is in handling the differential mode signals and rejecting the common mode or the so-called noise signals. It is always expressed as a ratio of differential gain by common mode gain. So it is a magnitude of differential gain AD divided by the magnitude of your common mode gain ACM. So just to recall, we have derived the differential gain as GM into RD, whereas the common mode gain, if the output is taken single-endedly, it is equal to minus RD divided by 2 into RSS, and if the output is taken differentially, it is equal to 0. So if you substitute it in the CMRR, the ideal value of CMRR will be equal to GM divided by 0. So the value will be equal to infinity. So CMRR value should be as high as possible. Infinite is the ideal value. This is because only when the differential amplifier is capable of rejecting a common mode signal, its common mode gain will be equal to 0. So its common mode gain should be equal to 0. So that, which implies that the differential amplifier completely rejects the noise signals. So in that case, the ideal value of CMRR will be equal to infinite. But in practical cases, it is not possible. So the CMRR should be set as high as possible. Okay, we'll look into that aspects later. Okay, CMRR is predominantly expressed in decibels. So it is equal to 20 log to the base 10 AD divided by ACM. Okay. Now, what are the ways to improve the CMRR or to keep the CMRR a high value? As we discussed, CMRR should be very high. Ideally, it should be infinite. Now, practically, how to make CMRR a very high value? We just recollect the expression for the common mode gain in common mode gain taken single-endedly. So that is equal to minus RD divided by 2 into RSS. It depends on only two parameters. One is the drain resistance, and the other one is the output resistance of the current source. Now, there are two possibilities. Two possibilities of making CMRR a large value. One is your common mode gain should be as less as possible, that is near to 0. So if at all your common mode gain has to be very much less, then there are two possibilities. One is your drain resistance RD should be as low as possible, or your output resistance of the current source should be as high as possible. Okay, so one way of obtaining a high CMRR is a bias current source with a very high value of output resistance is can be employed in the circuit. So that will make the common mode gain a lower value, so that your CMRR will be a higher value. The other case is while designing a differential amplifier, to retain or to make the drain resistance as low as possible. So that also will contribute to the higher CMRR. And another important point to be noted is the output must always be taken differentially to obtain a large CMRR. Apart from that, all these points will be valid on an assumption that both the transistors Q1 and Q2 are perfectly matched. Otherwise, even transconductance and other process parameters also will contribute to a CMRR change. Okay. Next, we'll discuss about the frequency response of differential amplifier. I hope you remember the frequency response of other amplifiers we have learned earlier, like common emitter, common collector, and common source amplifiers. If you compare the frequency response, you can observe that in frequency response of a differential amplifier, there is no lower cutoff frequency. The frequency the gain is almost constant from lower frequency as well. That is from even from 0 hertz. So you can observe. So you can say that the differential amplifier is capable of amplifying even a DC signal or a signal as or a signal with frequency of as low as 0 Hz. So the gain is constant here in these regions. And the gain drops only at higher frequencies, say at a cutoff frequency, higher cutoff frequency, FH. So this is the advantage of a differential amplifier. This is because there is no coupling capacitors being employed here. So the drop in gain due to the coupling capacitors are completely eliminated here. So the differential amplifier is capable of amplifying even the DC signals. And at high frequencies, the internal capacitance effects of MOSFETs will come into picture. So that is why the gain drops at high frequencies. And you can also observe that the gain of an amplifier is very high if you take the output differentially. Whereas other amplifiers, the output is taken only single-handedly. Okay, so these are the important features of differential amplifier, and of course the advantages of differential amplifier. You can observe that since there is no lower cutoff frequency here, you can observe that the bandwidth is so wide when compared to other amplifiers, and the gain is also much higher. And the differential amplifier is capable of amplifying the difference signals and rejecting the noise signals. So it is less sensitive or higher immune towards noise signals. So with this, we complete differential amplifier. Thank you.